Welcome to the Fantasy's finest fantasy football podcast. Here are your hosts, William Spencer, Jalen McQueen, and Mark Carter.
What's going on? Welcome back to a special episode of the Fantasy's finest podcast. The fantasy season is over, but we just got done with the Super Bowl. The Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. My nightmare scenario came true. The Eagles won Super Bowl 59. And as a Cowboys fan, that sucks. That really sucks. But, you know, if you're new to the podcast, my name is William Spencer. This is my co-host, Mark Carter. Mark, you're a Broncos fan. So the pendulum had to swing one or two ways between the both of us. So you kind of got the better end of the deal because the Chiefs are in your division.
Absolutely, man.
You got to tell me, I got to ask you, bro, how did you feel? First of all, how did you feel that the Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl again? And then,
No, I was, dude, we was hoping for the at least the Bills or something. I'm like, all right, we get beat by the Bills in the wild card, man. I mean, at least let the Bills, get on because they never, touched the championship, as of now, man. I was like, I wanted somebody new, man. So see the Chiefs again, I'm like, dude. And we all know we complain about the refs and stuff like that, man. Listen, it's everybody against the Kansas City refs, dude, seeing them the third time, I was like, dude, I'm getting tired of it because this was the Super Bowl that we both of us didn't want, man. We kind of called it the hater bowl, to be honest with you, man. This
definitely
was
a hater bowl
for both of us, man. You know what I mean? So for real, but just to see the Chiefs get smacked around that whole Super Bowl matchup, man, dude, that was comedy. I feel like I was watching Comedy Central, dude.
Now I'm gonna hold you right there because you gotta do a little social media, John. Make sure that you're following the podcast, Fantasy Finest, on wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on Audacity. We are on YouTube. We have our podcast up there on our channel. You can follow us. You can listen to the podcast on Apple, wherever else you listen to podcasts, and you can follow us on social media. We got a new handle for the new year, FF Finest, on across all social media. So if you're on Twitter, Instagram, or whatever, we're there. You can follow us on your social medias, and you can follow Mark. Tell them where they can follow you at.
Oh man, y'all can Google me anywhere, man. Just McNux, MCKNUX, man, on every social media. And yeah, like I said, I'm front page always, man. Hit me up.
So at least you got what you wanted as far as.
Oh, absolutely.
But all right,
absolutely.
But before we get deep into the game and all that stuff, did you go out for the Super Bowl? Did you go anywhere, or did you just you know what, I'm gonna chill at the crib and just watch the train wreck happen? Because we both, like you said, we both was doing the hater bowl.
Yeah. So I had to, I was invited to a couple parties, man. I was like, you know what, I gotta show my face because the last Super Bowl, I was like, I ain't serious, man. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna stay home. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna be on my couch all bundled up and just hate, man. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, you know what? I gotta do my own, ritual, man. I was like, I put my Peyton Manning orange Broncos jersey on. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a voodoo superstition. I don't care if you believe in it. Listen, man, I had to put it on. And I went to our friend's house, man. And then, of course, everybody donned their Eagles gear, man. I was the only one in orange. I was like, I'm just an ally, dude. You know what I'm saying? Listen, 2025, I'm just an ally nowadays, cause that's it. So yeah, it was just amazing, dude. That's all it was, man. So
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And the hater in me automatically went with the Chiefs. I want the Chiefs to win. I don't want the Eagles to win.
Yeah.
But that nagging feeling in the back of my head was I think the Eagles are gonna pull it off. I wouldn't verbally say it, but you know how that little voice in the back of your head is you know they're gonna pull it off, right? And it's when I talk to people at work and we're going over the game and it's yo, man, I think we got the best defense, and I'm I don't want to hear that, man. Patrick Mahomes has done it before and blah blah blah. And then the game started, and I'm sitting. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't get invited, and I'm cool with that because I'm not gonna show up, but I'm gonna be the op at wherever I'm going. So I don't want to go hang out with Eagles fans and watch the Super Bowl with them. I already made that mistake before when they won the first one, so I was I'm never doing that again. I only did. You know what? I'm lying. I did it one more time, when the Eagles played the Chiefs. You know
Why?
what?
Why?
Because one of my homies that I don't really get to hang out with like that, or at least at the time, he invited me over, and I'm like, I
Oh,
don't ever
that's
get to
fair.
go over his house, and then we started hanging out more and more. So I was like, all right, cool. You know, he
Yeah,
invited me. I'm gonna go, and I had a good time. And they ended up losing, but it was a good time for me. But I was like, you know what?
yeah,
I can't do that again. I can't. I
yeah.
can't put myself through that angst of watching the game and hoping that the Eagles lose because the Eagles they came into the game. Their defense was top notch. They were able to stop the run. Like
Complete,
it
man.
was the perfect nightmare scenario to watch this game, bro. Like
Yeah,
the Eagles
yep.
defense was perfect. We were perfect.
Honestly, overall, they were a complete team, dude. They were a legit
Hmm.
complete team. You know what I'm saying? And I had to look at it. I was like, yeah, you know what, man? This team is legitimately scary, man. For real. Like they had some bumps in the road. Like I mean, even like midway in the season, man, we always like criticize like, oh man, Hurts is not that elite quarterback and all that too. We question his passing, man, his relationship with AJ Brown, and then what if Saquon gets hurt? Cause are they the real offense? You know what I'm saying? Is Saquon the actual MVP, man? Because he brought the team. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so many questions. But honestly, dude, after seeing that night, legit shut us all up, dude. I mean, for real. They're a complete team. You gotta kind of you gotta put your respects to them. You know what I mean? Seriously, gotta put respect. I know you don't want to, dude. I know you don't want to, but you
I
gotta give them
I I,
respect,
I
man.
did, and I did. Like I've been getting crushed on Twitter. I've been
Mhm.
crushed by my friends
Yep.
on Facebook. I've been getting crushed at work like you wouldn't believe, bro. So it's like when you're
Yeah.
getting smoke from everywhere and you gotta hold the L, there you can't punch into a tornado, man. You gotta get swept up in
Yeah.
it, and it's just your time to take the lumps, man. So
Yeah.
I I
Yeah.
I I I, I went to my quiet spot. I did my post Super Bowl video, and I gave them credit, man. I gave them credit. I owned up to the Eagles playing.
I don't know
I
why you
had
did
to.
that, dude.
It because
I don't know why you did that.
I
You
did have
had
to
to.
because when you talk, I feel like this. When you talk a lot of trash and it doesn't
Yeah.
go your way, you make a lot of takes, against them, and make a lot of takes against the Eagles, and it doesn't go your way, and they end up winning the Super Bowl. There's no way around it. You gotta
Yeah.
own it, and part of
I
owning
get it,
it
but
is giving them their credit, man.
I get it, man. But you don't see none of these like people in ESPN saying that you don't see that.
But see,
There's no such thing as
but that's the
apologizing,
difference.
man.
That's the
You
difference
can't.
that I want to have for myself. If I'm going to say something,
Yeah.
right or wrong, I gotta stand on it. I'm not gonna be like the Dan Orlovskis. I'm not gonna be like none of them other boys. They'll say stuff
Okay.
and then it'll
Okay.
disappear into the ether, or they be deleting their tweets and stuff. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Right.
for example, I had a
Right.
tweet from 2021 about how the Cowboys was looking good. They ran the division to 12-5. They looked like they were gonna hold on to the control of the division for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Man, that joint guy is be getting rotation for the last couple of days, man. I had to finally break down and mute that tweet because they was dragging
Yeah.
it through the mud. But that's what I mean. When you make takes and you talk about sports, and I love football, so I'm always gonna do it. It's never gonna be a point where I'm gonna say something and then, oh man, it didn't work out. I'm gonna go delete it. No, that's not me.
Yeah. Right. Right. Nah.
Yeah,
No.
if
Yeah.
whether it's good, cool. If it's bad, I gotta take
That's
my
yeah.
hits
True.
for when they L's. But
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
always make sure I do the victory laps when I get the dubs. So it's just my turn to take some
Yeah.
lumps, man.
Yeah.
That's I can't get around it.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Listen, you can't win them all, man. I feel you on that. But again, like I said, it'll be a time, when the Cowboys will, make their run. Who knows?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
we'll
saying?
see.
We'll
Well, we
see.
can we can we can
We'll
discuss the
see.
Cowboy stuff in another podcast. Right now, I gotta get this out of the way, man. I gotta get this out of the way. I had people like, "Yo, Will, you ain't done your podcast in a while, man. What's going on? Like, is everything okay?" I'm like, Yeah, I'm gonna come back and do it. I'm gonna come back and do it because I have to.
Yep.
And like as far as the game goes, man, like you can't really. One of the knocks we had, or not we, as in, because I don't think you've said anything really negative about Jalen Hurts, and I don't think I said anything too negative. It was just more of a speculation because we didn't know how Kellen Moore was going to fit into that offense because he likes to call pass plays. He leans heavily or he leans more into the passing game than he does the run game. But the Eagles got Saquon. They
Right.
got the best offensive line in football.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Kellen Moore completely go away from what he's normally used to doing and he actually ran the ball. And even though in the Super Bowl they didn't really get it done on the ground against the Chiefs because the Chiefs, they basically sold out to stop the run. They sold out to stop Saquon.
Yeah.
But
They put all the cards on the table for that
but
run.
Jalen Hurts, he came through 221 yards passing,
Mm-hmm.
2 touchdowns, 72 yards on the ground, and another touchdown. It's like, what more do you want him to do? And because he's not a heavily volume passing guy, he attacked you
Right.
both ways and got it done.
And that was the key, man, because that's people questioned that going to the Super Bowl, man. Was like, what is Jalen Hurts going to do if they're going to bottle up Saquon, man? And we saw, like I said, we saw that from early on when that nice pass to Dotson. Who would have thought, man? Like, yo, if you put your money in FanDuel, man, say like Dotson get the first, that nice catch, man, going towards goal line, almost a touchdown, dude. So that's like one in I don't know how many, man. As far as
You know what's
tickets,
funny?
real.
They were talking about that particular bet on 105.3 The Fan. They were breaking down the Super Bowl and stuff. And I think his over under was like 40, 45 yards or something for the game for the Super Bowl. And he got that in
Yeah.
2 plays.
That's it. Easily. You would never thought, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, Jalen was like right there. He was like, I'm going to shove the critics.
To Jahan Dotson of all people.
That's it, cuz. I know.
He ain't done nothing all year. And he catches the pass in the Super Bowl for a touchdown.
Yeah, right. Matter of fact, a couple of series, man, we was like, okay, this is going to be to AJ. It's going to be AJ. Like, AJ was quiet for the first couple of series, man. You know what I mean? It was just incredible, dude, how methodical, man.
Oh, my bad.
Like I said, how
my bad, Jahan. I'm rushing ahead because Jahan didn't catch a touchdown, but he caught. He had a catch for 40.
He caught that good
one
close to the 1 yard, yeah.
And they touch pushed him.
Yep, basically. You know what I mean? So it's like, what a great, you would never thought that was going to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was all saying at the party, too, was like, oh, man, AJ's going to get, AJ going to be in his bag, man. I mean, he did get in his bag, but not in the first, first quarter, not in the first quarter and a half. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, yo, this is crazy, man.
Well, now, do you think who do you think was a better star for the Eagles? The Jalen Hurts, because he did have a good game. I'm not saying this to take away from him.
For sure.
But was it Jalen Hurts or was it the Eagles defense to you that was the real star of the game? Like, I'll put it like this, just so that I don't inadvertently piss people off that may watch it. Like, it's like this. Jalen Hurts is here. The Eagles defense is like right here. You know what I'm saying?
No, I will put it a little higher, man, because I'll tell you, here's the thing, man. That is a weird freak accident. And like I said, it was the greatest freak accident that you could ever do to the Chiefs, yo. Seriously, one of the greatest freak accidents, man. You talk about you stopping Mahomes to get a first down in the first half. Wait, one first down the first half? One first down the first half. You know what I mean? A stupid, 10.7 passer rating in the first half, dude. That doesn't happen all the time. That doesn't happen. 33 passing yards, dude. And total, 3 turnovers the whole game? That, I mean, honestly, dude, he exposes, Patty now, man. I mean, Patty, listen, that's another story. But still, the defense can only do that, man. The defense was definitely the star of the show. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do like a measurement, Hurts, but the defense is way up there. Without the defense, I don't know if the Eagles could have won that, man. I don't know if the Eagles could have won that, man. You got to agree with me. The Eagles could probably it would have been the second thing, whipping from the Kansas City Chiefs, man. So bless up to the Eagles defense because they killed it, man. They legit killed it. I mean, how many sacks, man? What
Six,
was that whole
six
game, yo?
sacks, and
6 sacks.
the
6
Eagles defense
sacks.
is among a handful of teams that managed to get not only 6 sacks, but they got them without blitzing. Their front four did so much damage to
Dude,
the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line that they are in the NFL history books for it.
Yep. That makes no sense. So we gotta talk about like that's foresight into next year's fantasy. That Eagles defense is gonna be first round on the board, cuz as far as defense goes, dude. Where would you put the Eagles
You
defense?
gotta
Like,
put them at
okay,
the
nah, you know
top.
what?
First of all, they're not
Right, but
losing.
it's
They're not
not.
losing too many players from their defensive line in free agency. They're probably going to somehow keep Jordan Davis. Milton Williams is one of the free agents. He might get away, but everybody else is under contract. Except I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the boy Sweat. He's a free agent. They could pay him, or they may let him walk. So you're going to have to fill that spot. But overall, as long as you got Jalen Carter, you got your secondary under contract because they're all rookies. Zach Bond is likely going to get paid by the Eagles, so he's the linebacker that's not going anywhere. Jacoby Dean, I believe he's the one that got hurt. He's going to come back next year. You still have Nolan Smith. They have a solid defense, and solid is just putting it lightly. They don't have a lot of fixes, and if God forbid, if they get Myles Garrett, I'm gonna flip the table,
dude.
I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna start the podcast. I'm just gonna crash out.
Well, hold on. Are the Cowboys in contention for?
Okay, so
Myles Garrett,
to deviate from the topic a little bit, one of the NFL rumors that I saw on Twitter was that Myles Garrett has about 4 or 5 teams that he quote unquote wants to play for. The Eagles were on the list, and the Cowboys were on the list. And I think Denver was on there too. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know how you can get seriously. I don't know how the Eagles can get Myles Garrett, and I don't know how the Cowboys can get Myles Garrett because Cleveland already came out and said that they don't want to trade him. But what's it going to cost to get a guy like Myles Garrett? Is it going to cost multiple first round picks? And I actually had this conversation with someone at work. The thing that concerns me about the Eagles getting Myles Garrett is what kind of package are you putting together to get him? Because if we're talking multiple first rounds, the Eagles are good. They just won a Super Bowl. They're not picking until the 32nd pick in the first round. And if we're going to say that they're going to continue to be that good, playoff contention, deep run, possibly another Super Bowl appearance, they're not picking in early in the first round in 2026 either. I mean, for the draft. So if I'm Cleveland, I'm looking at the Eagles and I'm like, you know what, Howie, what you want to send me? We'll send you 2 first round picks for Myles Garrett and maybe a fourth or something. If I know you picking in the back of the first round for the next 2 years, that's not really appealing for me because I'm trading Myles Garrett away. We're going into a rebuild. If I'm a Browns owner, we already don't have a quarterback because Deshaun Watson is broken. We're going to need a new running back. We do have a wide receiver core, but we still need somebody to throw the ball to. Our offensive line might need to be revamped. Our defense is okay, but we're giving up Myles Garrett. That's going to force you into a rebuild because now you are missing key pieces that you have to fill in. Now, can they do that? Are they cash strapped too? I don't have their numbers in front of me for their salary cap, but that's another thing they have to concern themselves with. So it's like, if I'm looking at the Eagles and I'm the Browns, unless you're giving me a player that's good, why do I want...
Even that wouldn't matter though, man. I mean, honestly, dude, really...
You feel what I'm saying? Like, the Eagles have assets, right? But they're not going to trade away. You're not trading Jalen Carter for Myles Garrett. You're not trading... You're not going to trade Zach Bond. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to trade Sweat. Sweat's a free agent, so you can't really trade him until you pay him. You're not getting rid of any of your corners or your wide receivers. So it's like, what do the Eagles have that would be appealing? And then my man threw in Bryce Huff. I'm like, bro, why would I want Bryce Huff? Why?
Come on,
Why?
dude.
Why?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
had him.
Come on, man.
You had him Eagles. You had him inactive.
People love
You
their
had him
fleece, man.
inactive for the Super Bowl. So if you had him inactive,
Yeah.
what makes you think I want to take on that money for a guy who's not good?
You're
Like
right.
if you had Hassan Reddick, then it'd be like, you know what? That's not too bad. You know, I might consider that two
Yeah.
first rounds or a first and a
Right.
second,
Right.
and Hassan Reddick for Myles Garrett. You know, maybe we got
Right.
something to talk about. But no, not Bryce
Right.
Hall.
Right.
Don't do that.
It's like, let me give you this trash real quick, man.
Excuse
All
me.
right, yeah, whatever.
But
Cool.
then that's the same thing for the Cowboys. It's like we're picking 12. Is it going to cost us the 12th pick in our second round? And if that's the case, I wouldn't do that because we do have a few more holes to fill in the Eagles. So it's like I don't want to give up
Right.
too much to get Myles Garrett, but Myles Garrett would be worth it. Um, there was an article that I saw from Mike Fisher who covers the Cowboys, and he broke down that there's a scenario where you could trade before and after. I think it was June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Because the dynamic changes between, after the draft, before and after the draft. You trade before the draft, you got to worry about paying Myles Garrett another contract, and then those first round picks for the
Right.
2025 season come into play. And then after, it
Right.
might be a little easier to trade for him after the draft or after June 1st, or however the dynamic was that he wrote it. So I'm gonna try and look that joint back up and detail that. But Myles Garrett's on the table.
Right.
Everybody should be in on trying to get him.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. You know, I said it to myself too. I was like, if we're in the pot as well too, if the Broncos are in the pot, man, we got 20. Honestly, I would give up 20, man. I mean, either that or we push up, front to get like Ashton, man, or something, get a running back to solidify, because right now we're in line to probably get another tight end. But I mean, either way, man, either push up to get a good running back, or get Myles Garrett, just give it all, get Myles Garrett, man, beef up that defense, like, and get it back to the Archie
Y'all
standard.
not trying to
You know
let
what I'm saying?
Audric Estime, roll out?
Listen, I love him. I love him for sure. But man, I don't know, dude. You know what? I mean, we could probably, I don't know. See, I kind of want to get like like I said, somebody off the free agent like Aaron Jones or something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe, possibly. That's what I'm looking at, man. We need a running back, man, just to get the pressure off of Bo. You know what I mean? Because everybody knows Bo gonna be passing all day. You know what I'm saying? But I need a solid running back all day, man. Somebody that can prove themselves, man. Aaron Jones can fit the mold right there
Yeah.
easy. You know what I mean? But I think, you know what? I honestly hope we don't get Myles Garrett now. We want to focus on the running back. That's all I want, man. I'd rather put myself off the table right there, for real, man. You know what I mean? Unless we get it for bread and butter.
Mhm.
That's it. Then I'll take that. But nah, man, we gotta get a running back first, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
it's just Myles Garrett with the Eagles would be the worst thing I could. Them winning the Super Bowl was bad. Them getting Myles Garrett and potentially going back for another year, that would be worse. That would be worse. But they got 6 sacks on Patrick Mahomes without having a pass rush all season.
That's
That
crazy.
beating up on the Chiefs' offensive line, watching them do it the entire game, and they got 3 sacks like back to back in one series.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, how did you not know that this was going to, or you didn't prepare for it? The Chiefs, did they look like lethargic coming into the game? Like they looked like they were not ready for what the Eagles brought to the table. It was like they just were in some kind of fog.
It was weird. It was weird. I mean, I never seen a Chiefs team get so dismantled like that, yo. I never seen that. You would look at them at that game and say like, yo, how did they win the division? Man, they should be like right under the Raiders, man, for real. Like seriously, it's weird. It's weird like that, and that's why I went, and I was, I'm in the whole, Broncos country chat. It was like, yo, this is the actual real Chiefs we're looking at, man. Because honestly, you gotta look at the whole season. They've been skimming by games like that, man. They shouldn't be that good. They shouldn't be that good. They're getting, I hate to use that word, but they're getting lucky. They're getting lucky with a lot of these games in the season. You know what I mean? They're not the Chiefs that we're scared of. No, they're skimming by, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at the game they played against us, man, with that block field goal.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
But, dude, That's what I'm saying, man. Like these are not the same Chiefs that we're all scared of, man. You know what I mean? I'm scared more of the Bills than anything else. You know what I mean? For real. I'm more scared of the Bills. I don't know how the Bills lost that. Refs, but still, man, it's insane. They're not the same Chiefs, dude. They're not the same Chiefs at all. And when I saw that game, I was like, thank you. They got exposed, man. This was beautiful, cuz. And I was like, again, because they're I told the whole part, I was like, dog, the Eagles got to get up like at least 2 touchdowns, man. You'll see. And again, I'll tell you right now, if you get up 2 touchdowns, the Chiefs ain't going to come back because they don't know how to come back from that.
Well,
They don't. They've been struggling like
but
that.
they've been able to pull off those comebacks the entire year and in the Super Bowl. Mahomes has been down by 10, and I think in every Super Bowl that he's played in, and he's managed to come back and win those games. But even while I was watching the game, I'm like, yo, first of all, you cannot. This is not like every other team that you played. The Eagles defense is legit. If you go down double digits against the Eagles, I'm sitting there, I'm telling my kids, I'm like, yo, if they go into halftime and they don't score, it's a wrap. And my older son is like, no,
Yeah.
they can still come back. Mahomes is done. I'm like, no, son. I'm like, I don't know. This is a bad feeling I got. This is not going to work. And then he threw a pick. He threw a pick 6 to Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, man.
how do you not see him? He was in the middle, like you seen the crossing route. Chiefs receiver was coming across. Cooper was coming, like he was near the sideline, and he was drifting back. And I'm like, yo, Mahomes has to see him. He's right there between. And he tried to gun it in there, and Cooper was like, nope, I'm a little bit quicker. Yoink. And he took that joint right to the house. And I'm like, it's over.
That was the real Patrick Mahomes.
The real Patrick Mahomes.
Panic Patty. That's the real Panic Patty, dude. That's what we call him, Panic Patty. You know what I'm saying? When he gets rattled up like that, he's not what he used to. He's not what he is. All
right, I'm not going to cop to that. I'm not going to say that. But Brady did mention that he did not look comfortable in the protections that the Chiefs were having for him in that game. Yeah. He said he made it a point to say it several times. He was like, look at his feet. He's like, look at Patrick Mahomes' feet. He's not set. He's like debating on whether he wants to set up to throw or he got to take off. He's not comfortable back there. Yeah. They're getting to him. And this is like in the beginning of the game. This is not even deep into the first quarter. He's like, yo, Mahomes does not look comfortable. He does not look comfortable. The protections, he doesn't like the protections. And then they just started teeing off on him. I'm like, Jesus. And you don't run the ball at all? You don't run the ball with Isaiah Pacheco?
No. Dude, that makes no sense,
How many carries did he have?
That makes
He had 3 carries. Man. 3 carries for 7 yards in the game. How do you go in the game and you decide we're not going to run the ball at all? I get that the Eagles, their Eagles defense is great against the run. But you have to try something because if you know your offensive line can't hold up against the Eagles defense, you're sitting Mahomes back there like a sitting duck because he couldn't take off. And then it was 3 and out. Short field for the Eagles, 3 and out. Short for the. I'm like, you just giving them the ball, and then Mahomes turned the ball over too.
Yeah. Yep. Beautiful, man.
So beautiful
showcase, man. Beautiful, dude. I loved every minute of it, dude. Seriously, and like I said, when they got the touchdowns, garbage points. Anyway, man. So
and it's like, why not use Xavier Worthy's speed in the beginning of the game? And there was a couple of times Mahomes was hitching, he didn't want to throw it. But it's like you got to set up something to get him loose. Him and Marquise Brown, they're the fastest guys you got. And DeAndre Hopkins does not get off the hook. He shook Cooper DeJean, got open to the right side of the field. Mahomes right. Mahomes throws the ball to him. Scot-free. He's butt naked out there. And he drops the ball?
Yeah.
And it's like he didn't even – how do you get open? You're looking at Mahomes, and you don't even catch the ball. And it's not like he threw it, too far ahead of him. He can't catch it. It was like the Jones was like right here. I'm like,
that was a dime, cuz.
Unbelievable.
And that was Kansas City's biggest acquisition this year.
You get DeAndre Hopkins. Yo, all right. Now here's a question. Because he tweeted that he said he's not done. He said he's not done.
Of course, everybody said he's not done, man. You was done.
He definitely was.
Though,
and then he didn't get busy until like the fourth quarter. The game was over.
Right,
Do you
right,
think that
exactly.
DeAndre Hopkins is done? Like is he washed, or is it just like
He's
a
done.
bad?
He's done. He's washed. Yeah, yeah.
Because
He's
the
up
trade was
there.
in the middle of
He's
the
done,
season. You
man.
know,
I
it's
mean,
hard for players to really get acclimated to a new offensive system when they're used to playing one way. You're being traded in the middle of the season. Those kinds of
yep.
deals don't really get to take off like that, in my opinion.
And so
So
yeah,
I
yeah,
want to give him
right.
the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, it's like, dog, you were cooked, and you were there for the Chiefs long enough that you should have been able to
Yep,
do something. Catch the ball. The ball was right
yep,
there for you, and you let it
yep,
sail. So I'm like, I want to believe because I like DeAndre Hopkins. I don't like how he tried to play the
yeah.
Cowboys before he got traded again, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to believe that he's not done yet. I don't want to believe he's not done yet. But
You want to
he
believe?
definitely
Okay.
looked cooked until the defense started letting up and they started trying to put up points
Yeah.
at the end of the game.
Right. Nah. I. Man, listen. I wanna hope. I really wanna hope, man, that he's done, dude. Seriously, because again, that would be the greatest snub, you know, that the Chiefs ever acquired. Cause for real, what I mean? Like it's just what it is. I mean, like I say, the hater in me, but still, it's like again, like you said, man, he could have balled right then and there, man. But I mean, he didn't show up. You know what I mean? He never showed up. So I mean, like I say, he probably got he may got. We'll see what happens
Because
next
he's a
year.
free agent.
But honestly, he's not. Yo, he's gonna be a
Yeah,
free agent next year.
The Chiefs have to address that offensive line, especially after that game. But they're going
Woo!
into another offseason where Marquise Brown is going to be a free agent. DeAndre Hopkins is going to be a free agent. I
Yeah,
think Juju's going to be a free agent. Now they may get
yeah,
Rashee Rice back, but remember he still got to deal with his off the field issues. He
yeah,
may get
yeah.
suspended by the league because he didn't get suspended this year. They let him play because he still got legal
Right,
issues. That hasn't been resolved yet.
right, right.
So when those get resolved and the league decides how long he's going to be out, the Chiefs still need wide receivers. They're still going to need wide
Mm-hmm.
receivers. Now, the free agent pool for wide receiver this year looks good. So they can pluck a guy or two.
Yeah, I gotta look
They
at
can
free
pluck a
agency
guy
now.
or two and then wait for Rashee Rice to come back, and then you further develop
Right,
Xavier Worthy in the new season. But the Chiefs got
right.
some work. They got some work to do. What did they get Myles Garrett?
Why they need Myles Garrett for? What are they
Listen,
in for, dude? They
they
don't
do
need
need
him.
him. They
They
have
don't
a
need
pass
him.
rush. How
You
many
know what?
times did Jalen Hurts get sacked?
Well, well, yeah, I get that. You know what I'm saying? But still, they don't need him. That's not their factor right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, they was doing that against Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen.
Like I do. So why do they need him now? They don't need that. It was just they just couldn't get the Eagles O line is that good. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You know what I mean? Bills O line is still mid. You can get through Josh Allen like cake, dude, easily. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to go out, and flush out the pocket all the time. You know what I'm saying? Or they can do that the same thing with the Texans. You know what I'm saying? Texans line are butter.
Yeah, they got to
You
fix the
know,
offensive line
but
too.
but they could not get through the Eagles line. It was like Fort Knox, man. They don't need Myles Garrett. They're fine with that. They just, again, like you said, they need to address their O line because their O line is cheeks. It's straight up cheeks, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just happy to say that, dude.
See,
Like I said, because listen,
we're on
we
two
would
totally different
no,
ends of the
no,
spectrum.
you know what? And yeah, right. You know what's so funny now? Now I kind of want to get Myles Garrett now, man, because
You like
that's what
this?
we need to bust through to. Like seriously, I was like, you know what? Do I run it back or do I need Myles Garrett? I kind of want to get Myles Garrett now, man, because Myles Garrett, man, going at Patty, man, for 2 games straight this season, man, is beautiful. I would love that. I would love that, man. I think that would be. I wouldn't mind having him or a running back, man. You know what I'm saying? Whichever one, I don't care. That's fine.
All right,
Beautiful.
so I posted up. Oh, there was a discussion they was having in one of my group chats, and
Yeah.
they were talking about Jalen Hurts, and my other friend was talking about how good Joe Burrow is, and Joe Burrow's still better than Jalen Hurts, and etc. And I believe that the dynamic of the top 5 quarterbacks heading into 2025 has changed. And
Mm-hmm.
I put my top 5 going into 2025 is still Mahomes at 1. I mean, he's still the best quarterback in the
Okay.
league, by far. It's not close.
Right.
But
Not Josh Allen.
I put
Not
Jalen
Josh
Hurts
Allen.
at 2.
Not Josh Allen. Okay.
I put
All right.
Jalen Hurts at
Okay.
2.
All right. So go with your 5. Go with your 5. Yeah, go with your 5 first.
Patrick Mahomes at 1, Jalen Hurts at 2, Lamar Jackson at 3, Josh Allen at
Get out of
4,
here, dude.
and Joe Burrow at 5. And believe me, I hate having to put him in.
You put the MVP of the regular season at 4.
Yeah, no, Lamar Jackson. I mean, Josh Allen is the MVP for this year. Yes, but that's one MVP. Lamar still has 2.
But all right,
and hold on. On top of that, Lamar actually played better than Josh Allen this year. He shouldn't, by all intents and purposes. I already looked at the stats. By all intents and purposes, Lamar Jackson should have been the MVP for this year. And there's no dispute. If we're looking at statistics and we're measuring up both quarterbacks side by side, Lamar Jackson takes it. Now, the only reason I'm not tight about it is because they did the same thing that they did to Lamar Jackson this year. They did it to Dak Prescott last year. Because Dak Prescott should have been the MVP last year.
You know what? I feel you, because that's the same thing with the Rookie of the Year, man. I don't know why they gave it to Jaden Daniels, man. Bo Nix should have got it, man. Stat-wise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can make it.
Stat-wise.
I kind of feel like Jaden
Stat-wise.
did get it. Plus, he made it a little. Well, it's a regular season award. Is it close, or is it like Bo Nix is like he's over?
Bo, you look at Bo over, man. I mean, over.
I gotta check that because I didn't look. I didn't look.
Yeah, because it's crazy. But I get that.
But
I get that, though.
I'm like, look, if y'all gonna do Dak dirty the year before, and y'all purposely gonna do Lamar Jackson dirty this time, it is what it is. Yeah. But as far as my top 5 goes, Lamar still has 2. Joe Burrow has none. That's why he's at 5. And between all of those guys, only 2 on that list are Super Bowl champions. If we, the thing that I think we have to consider is that Jalen Hurts is in a similar situation like Lamar Jackson is. We don't talk about Jalen Hurts' passing ability because he's a runner too. The only difference between Lamar and Jalen is that Lamar has had to develop his passing game. And I'm not saying Jalen Hurts hasn't, but he's been able to showcase his improved skill as a passer because we already know how great he is as a rusher. This year is proof that Lamar Jackson has steadily made that consistent development as a passer. Now he's dangerous. All they need to do is put together a season where they have everything clicking and then they can handle business. Like Mark Andrews dropping that pass in the end zone against the Bills, that's not on Lamar. And you can say, oh, well, he was hitching, he was double clutching.
Right.
The ball hit Mark Andrews in the hands. There's no way around it. Lamar got him the ball. Mark Andrews was supposed to finish the job, and he didn't. That's on Mark Andrews. But we've seen Lamar Jackson develop as a passer. He's in a run-first system, but he showed you that he can pass the ball. We've seen it one time with Jalen Hurts. And so it's like, all right, we do need to see a little bit more of him as a passer. But we can't take away from the fact that what he was able to do as a complete quarterback, passing, rushing, controlling the offense, managing the team, and I'm not trying to use that man as a slight. He's got complete control of the Eagles' offense. Saquon Barkley, even though you're running the ball first, the same way that they did Derrick Henry as far as volume, they're a run-heavy team, but he still got it done. And the tush push is undefeatable. You cannot. He's the only person that they can do that with correctly, with consistency. It doesn't really work with any other quarterback that they have on the roster. So they already have a smoking gun with Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and the wide receivers. But now, when you get between 4th and 2 or 4th and 1, you already know what's coming and you can't stop it. You can barely stop it. So those things are why I would put, Jalen Hurts at 2. And he's gotten something that no one else has gotten on that list. He's got a Super Bowl championship. Burrow may be the best passer in the league, sans Mahomes, but he got no hardware. He has no All-Pros. He has no MVPs. He has no Super Bowl championships. He's got one AFC championship. and that's great, but it's not a Super Bowl.
They're right. Yeah. It doesn't
Yeah,
really
so
matter.
I mean that's my list, and I even got caught flack for that. You shouldn't have him at 2. You just saying that you trying to glaze because he won the Super Bowl. No, if I said if I came out and said, you know what, Jalen Hurts is still 6, I'd have been called a hater. But I'm not doing it to please nobody. I'm just saying, like, he's done
Yeah.
the conversation, like the Dak versus Jalen Hurts. That's dead. It's dead because he's a Super Bowl champion. So in the
Yeah.
same sense, we
Right.
got to elevate him to he's the elite. He's at the top of the elite because none of those other guys got Super Bowls.
Yep.
And until they get one, the dynamic is not going to really change.
Now, my question is that top 5 list that you have, man. Will that translate over to this coming fantasy season, man, where the quarterback should be going off the board in that order?
Well, when you talk about fantasy, you talk about quarterback. One thing that's going to be consistent is you're always going to have the running quarterbacks coming off the board first. Josh Allen is still likely going to be number 1, because he did have the better fantasy season. Then you're going to have guys. You're going to have Jalen Hurts. You're going to have Lamar Jackson. Picking between those 3 guys, well, maybe Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts is probably just going to be like, who's your favorite guy to pick? Because they're almost identical.
Right.
So those 3 guys are going to come off the board, 1, 2, and 3, whichever order you want. Those are going to be the first 3 guys off the board. Then you're probably going to have guys like, you're going to get into your passing guys. You're going to get your Joe Burrow is going to be next. Patrick Mahomes is. Oh, and my wife is in the background telling us, don't forget about Jaden Daniels because she's a Commanders fan. And talking about that, I've been ostracized in my own house because my Cowboys suck it up and they suck. My wife has been getting the better of me. You know how this is a bad season all the way around.
Yo, I can't.
All the way around, bro. But she's right. She's right too. Jaden Daniels is another guy who's going to come off the boards early. After those 3 guys, after Josh Allen, after Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels is probably going to be your 4th guy because he's going to be your quarterback that's going to be able to rush the ball. He's going to improve. They're going to add more weapons to him. And he's in the perfect spot at 4. He's going to be behind those guys. Then you start to get into your passing guys, your Joe Burrows, your Lamar, your Patrick Mahomes. Those guys are going to be next, and then it's going to be like whoever else comes in next. You're going to try. I would definitely consider Bo Nix somewhere up in there because he's not only showing that he's mobile, but they're going to.
But that
it's nasty, so crazy, man. It
is, dude. It is.
We're talking about quarterback, son.
I was excited. Yeah, I was just excited, dude. No. That's all it was, man. Bo Nix's arm is.
It is. My youngest son talking about talk about Devon A-Chain.
I mean, listen, he's been quiet, man, for a lot of fantasy owners, I think, man, for this
season. No, he was
man.
good this year. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I mean, getting into, we can segue into running backs real quick.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
My top 2 guys, I think off the top of my head, without looking at anything, it's got to be Saquon and it's got to be Bijan Robinson. Like Saquon.
Stop playing. So you're not going to do King Henry, man? No King Henry number 2.
Remember, Saquon and Bijan can catch. I think Derrick Henry is he's a solid 3 because he's always going to get the ball. He's in a run first offense. That's cool. But if I want the passing ability too, I get that with Saquon. I get that with Bijan. And then Derrick Henry, I wouldn't say he shouldn't fall no further than 3rd. He should fall no further than 3rd. He's just getting the ball. He's not wearing down. And the Baltimore Ravens got a solid offensive line too. So
of course, yeah.
I mean, I can't. I'm already looking and doing my homework, man, for next season, man.
Dude, same. I was looking at that. I was like, dude, you know what though? Like I said, next episode for sure, man. We definitely doing like top 5 going into.
Yeah, we got some stuff coming up.
Yeah, we got time. Yeah, we got.
This year's been a swift kick in the nuts, man. Like everything has been bad. I mean, we talking about you? Y'all made it to the playoffs, didn't y'all? Y'all made it.
We made it to the
I mean,
playoffs. Listen, we made it to the
did y'all get
playoffs.
cooked in the first round?
That was. Oh, I
Oh,
think it's
yeah,
the
yeah.
Bills because I was like, I walked. I was like, I'm not expecting anything. I'm not going in there and saying like, oh, we're gonna beat the Bills. No, because the Bills are the Bills, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I want to see how Bo goes against and Bo was solid, man. It's just he couldn't catch up
Yeah.
with him. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, that's fine. Bo got a nice little taste of the playoffs. He got a nice little taste of a great team.
Yeah, he
You know
made
what I
it his
mean?
rookie
That should
season.
get him hyped up for next season. Yeah, I was like, this is going to be a beautiful next season. I can't wait. You know what I mean? Which going to next season real quick, man, because now we got the Cowboys at home in Denver, which hopefully we got to go. We got to go, man. We got to go.
Denver?
We got to go.
I think we should go.
Mahad, we got to go, dude. We got to go.
When is that game? You about to make me look up the schedule.
Oh, they put the dates
out.
Yeah,
I'm jumping the gun.
Yeah, it's gonna be Dallas coming to Denver. I gotta see how Bo goes against Eagles defense. They're gonna be playing here in Philly, man. So I gotta see.
I think that'll be fun. I ain't never been to Denver.
You know what I mean? You gonna love Denver, man. You gonna love the food there, the fresh breath, the fresh air, cause the Rocky Mountain High. You know what I mean? Good beer, good food. So you gonna be fun. You gonna be amongst family, cause trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sounds like a plan. You sound like a plan.
Yep. Oh, I already told Ace too, man. So Ace is on board. He's like, yeah, all right, definitely, because I need y'all to come up there. You know what I mean? See the Mahad madness. That's all I'm saying, man, for real. Because we still.
I was definitely not trying to bring that up because y'all definitely did. I don't know what it is about. It's about y'all and the Cardinals. We just can't beat them two teams. They're like evil.
Yo, for real, man.
They be spanking us. I'm like, how are we still losing to these guys?
Dude, it's what it is, cuz you know what I'm saying. There's ownerships, man, in the NFL with a lot of teams, cuz.
I'm not even. We can save a whole nother episode for ownership, bro.
Yeah,
I gotta get at Jerry Jones, man. He been. I don't even want to talk about. I'm not gonna end the show on that note, but the Eagles are your Super Bowl champions. Yeah. The parade is probably gonna be this. They're saying like Friday, so. If they do it, if the weather holds up, they're gonna have the parade. I'm like, I'm staying in the crib. I'm not going nowhere near that.
I'm staying in the crib too. Yeah, cool. I'm not.
People at my coworkers like, yo, man, are you gonna go to the parade? It's an experience. I'm like, no, I'm good. You gonna bring your kids? No, I'm not taking them down there. Nope. I'm not Eagles fan. Like, why would you want me there? Like, you don't want me to rub it in. I get it, but like at the same time. You don't want me cheering. Like I have people like, yo, don't worry about it, dog. I'll buy you a jersey. No, I'm not. I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. I appreciate it. It's like I don't need to be there. That's not my team. That's your thing, and that's cool. You won. You got the right to gloat and everything. But I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. I'm nowhere. My feet gonna touch my house, and that's it.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's a trap all day.
It's so not fair. It's so not fair.
Listen, for those listening to the show, man, you got to pray. You got to pray for Will, man. You know what I mean? He's going to go through the whole.
See, people don't know the struggles of being a Cowboys fan in Philly, man. They don't.
Yeah, they don't. Listen. If they want to know, they just got to look
at the God. Don't look at that right now. Don't look at that right now, because I'm still getting killed. My messages got all the way up to like 28 at one point, and I think that's before I hit the refresh. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I had to mute a couple of them joints because they kept pulling my receipts. And now, to be fair, I would do the same thing. So I'm like I said before, I don't delete nothing, but it's just like, Jesus Christ, they go all the way back to like 2020 on me. I'm like,
Yep. You know how people do. They wait for that moment, cuz. They wait for that moment. They research and shop.
But they earned it. So it's nothing. I can't be mad about it. They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. That's all right, man. Just bear through it, cuz. Seriously, man. I feel you. I had to go through the last 2 years with stupid Chiefs fans in my ear, man. So listen, I feel you, man. I feel you, dude. Listen, it's your turn now.
Yeah.
Man. Fill my pain for the last 2 years.
I need free agency to hurry up and get here. So we keep talking about something else.
You ain't lying. Dude, who you telling, man? Seriously. I gotta see what acquisitions everybody's getting, man, for real. That's our Super Bowl right there, man. See what we getting, you know what I mean? That's it.
But we can
Oh,
close it out
man.
here, man. Yo, thanks for jumping on,
Yeah,
doing a podcast with me. We got to
absolutely,
get
man.
back to this fantasy journey. So it's going to be a lot to talk about. Even though the off season is just like getting restarted, we're a month away from free agency, or at least the tampering period before free agency really gets underway.
Yeah,
So we got to
yep.
get, there's plenty to get ready for in terms of fantasy. We're going to keep you guys updated on
Mm-hmm.
everything coming out of the NFL. So that's why I say y'all got to check out our social media. Always updating, always adding new content up there. So make sure you're all tapping in on Twitter, Instagram at FF Finest. And then we'll keep y'all updated on whatever's going on. We're going to talk about some guys coming out of college, what their impact could be for fantasy coming into 2025. We got a lot of stuff coming, so time to get back to work.
Yes, sir. You know
But
it. You know
that'll
it.
do it for the show. Thank you guys for checking us out. We will catch you later. Again, you can follow us on social media at FF's Finest, and you can follow the podcast and subscribe to the podcast on our YouTube channel, Odyssey, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We are there. Just hit that subscribe button and stick with us. But thank you for checking out the podcast, and we will catch you on our next episode. Take it easy.
Thanks for listening to the Fantasy's Finest podcast. Be sure to join the community on Facebook and follow us on Twitter too at the Fantasy's Finest. See you next episode.